Hello friends. Today Hagia Sophia is hot news internationally. Do you remember Hagia Sophia? We have seen it in two of James Bond movies. First it was seen in From Russia with Love in 1963. And it was seen again in Skyfall in 2012. You are watching It's Different, Entirely Different. Presents you details of everything unbelievable. Updates you with every happening. Came in world news headlines. When Turkey's highest administrative court issued a ruling on Friday 10th of July 2020. That paves the way for the government to convert Istanbul's iconic Hagia Sophia, a former cathedral-turned-mosque that now serves as a museum, back into a Muslim house of worship. The 1,500-year-old Hagia Sophia, now Turkey's most popular tourist attraction, has been stripped of its museum status by Turkey's highest court. Hagia Sophia started to build on 532 AD, and it was completed on 27 Dec 537. During the reign of the Roman Emperor Justinian I, it was then the world's largest interior space, and the first to employ a fully pendentive dome. It is considered the epitome of Byzantine architecture, and is said to have changed the history of architecture. It was originally built as the cathedral for the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. In 1453, Constantinople was conquered by the Ottoman Empire, under Mehmed the Conqueror, who ordered the cathedral converted into a mosque. The Patriarchate moved to the Church of the Holy Apostles, which became the city's cathedral. Although some parts of the city of Constantinople had fallen into disrepair, the cathedral had been maintained with funds set aside for this purpose. And the Christian cathedral made a strong impression on the new Ottoman rulers who conceived its conversion. It remained a Muslim house of worship until the early 20th century, when the Turkish government secularized the Hagia Sophia and turned it into a museum in 1934. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of the Republic of Turkey, shut down the mosque and turned it into a museum in an attempt to make the country more secular. More than 50 years later, UNESCO included Hagia Sophia as part of its historic areas of Istanbul World Heritage Site. On 20 hours July 2020, Turkey's highest administrative court issued a ruling Friday that paves the way for the government to convert Istanbul's iconic Hagia Sophia, a former cathedral-turned-mosque that now serves as a museum, back into a Muslim house of worship. The decision was in line with the Turkish president's calls to turn the hugely symbolic World Heritage Site into a mosque, despite widespread international criticism, including from the United States and Orthodox Christian leaders. The decision could deepen tensions with neighboring Greece, which also called on Turkey to maintain the structure's status as a museum. The religious group had contested the legality of the 1934 decision by the modern Turkish Republic's secular government ministers and argued that the building was the personal property of Ottoman Sultan Mehmet II, who conquered Istanbul in 1453. On Friday, Turkey's highest court allowed for the conversion of the nearly 1,500-year-old Hagia Sophia from a museum into a mosque. The centuries-old structure, listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The return of the Hagia Sophia to a place of active worship would not necessarily preclude World Heritage status. Roughly 20% of the 1,000-plus properties inscribed on the World Heritage list have a spiritual or religious connection, including Vatican City and the Jame Mosque of Isfahan, Iran.
You can see it as you approach from the Aegean to Old Constantinople and now to Istanbul. It's the first thing you see.
This building is 1,500 years old. It is built as a church. Ottoman Turks changed this building to the mosque. It is my city's jewel. Because of this richness, this building has to live forever.
İstanbul'a bambaşka bir ayrıcalık ve bambaşka bir kalite ve zenginlik kattığı düşüncesindeyim Hagia Sophia. UNESCO'nun bizi bir şekilde onurlandırması ve Dünya Sanat Tarihi listesine alarak hem gururlandırdı hem de bizim sorumluluğumuzu artırdı.
Bu konuda çok hassasiyet gösterilmesi gereken bir bina. Bu kesinlikle muhafaza edilmeli, en iyi şekilde korunmalı.
It was built between 532 and 537. They actually built it up in 5 years, and I think that's amazing. Different types of art and architecture, calligraphy and ornaments, the mosaics and the paintings. It's an amazing work, I think.
Hagia Sophia does represent what Istanbul is, a melting pot, which is true. It is connectivity personified. You see all over the walls and ceilings with all the calligraphy, the Ottoman calligraphy, and Byzantine frescoes, drawings.
The restoration process of the mosaics on the main dome began in 1993 with the UNESCO's technical